And so there are those three principles, but there's a fourth one. The fourth principle is that appropriate treatment is based upon those three principles. So that's what underpins traditional osteopathy. Now today, 95% of osteopaths do nothing which in Still's time he would have called osteopathy. For Still, osteopathy was the manual work. He was very against any sort of drugs because at the time drugs were ineffectual. They killed people. They didn't help people. Like during the Spanish influenza in 1917, people who had osteopaths for doctors were way more likely to survive. I forget the exact number, but you can Google it. It was like, more than 10 times. I think it was something like 40 times more likely to survive. And one could debate, is that because they're doing osteopathy and helping people, or they just weren't giving poisons and so they weren't killing people? I would tend to think that it's a combination of both from my experience, because we have studies where we show we can increase circulating white cells by doing a splenic pump. We can improve lymphatic drainage by treating the lymphatic system intelligently, not like moving lymph for someone, but opening the channels and freeing the pumps so that that person's own body is moving its lymph normally. So you see this principle show up in osteopathy a lot, of helping the body help itself. Because we don't need someone to move our lymph for us. We have mechanisms to do that. And we shouldn't have to get treatment, except in extreme cases. We shouldn't have to get treatment every week or every month for months and years. We should be able to return to normal, and then the normal homeostatic forces within the body maintain that. Sometimes we have to look at diet, we have to look at activities, we have to look at relationship, we have to look at like spiritual inspiration, work satisfaction, that we can't just treat the body and just address dysfunctions. But we also can't ignore the somatic component of issues. So what a treatment generally looks like when someone comes to see me is I'll start with getting a history, and that'll help me understand what sort of injuries that they've encountered, what sort of problems that they're dealing with. And then I will get them on the table and just choose some sort of post for listening. Usually it's up at the shoulders, where I just passively make a contact that blends with the tissues, and I don't focus on any particular part. I just keep my focus open. And pretty quickly, something will draw my attention. And generally what I'm looking for is flow. So as I start to feel flow, I see, okay, where does that flow go? Where through the body? And then when I do that, I'll notice where it stops. So this is also a difference in osteopathy that is the ideal. There's some osteopaths who don't practice this way, but this is the ideal, is that we're not looking for the problem. We're looking for normal. Because if we want to demonstrate a problem, you could think of it as like, imagine if your partner every day, in order to help you, was trying to demonstrate the problem, was trying to find the thing you couldn't do, and then put it in your face, and then try to make you do the thing you couldn't do. It's not very natural, it's kind of confrontational, it's kind of annoying. So if instead we pay attention to the normal, to the flow, it'll reveal the problem, right? So it's flowing all the way down, but then around the left SI and down the leg, it feels dense. It feels like the flow just doesn't have easy access into that leg. And with experience, good osteopaths will, from any listening post, get information about the whole body if there's some significant thing. If someone's normal, from a listening post, you just don't really feel a whole lot other than flow. You just feel like it just feels kind of blissful, honestly.